Good morning, how are you? Lovely to see you on this wonderful Saturday. So whether you're watching live or on replay, I'm Angela. This is Gogglefrogs. I hope you brought a cup of tea or your favourite cuppa of anything. Mine's not in the Gogglefrogs mug because I've left my Gogglefrogs mug up north until I get another one. I've got my wool. I'm going to do a bit of crochet, and absolutely lovely to see you. This is episode, I don't know, we're nearly at episode 70. It's 77, all the sevens, 77. So if we were playing bingo, somebody could have just got a full house, but never mind, you're here with us, you're enjoying Gogglefrogs. So I hope you've had a lovely, lovely week. Do you know what? I'm here. I'm in the south today, and it does look as if it's starting to clear out there, but I could be saying the wrong thing, couldn't I? So I hope you've had a really good week. And I'm always, always interested to know what you're working on. So please, if you haven't already, put your work into Gogglefrogs Knit and Natter on Facebook, and we'll be able to have a look at that in a little while. I'm still working on secret projects, so that's really, really good. I might even show you a little bit because I did something different in terms of colour, and I really, really like it. So I will share that with you in a little while. So let's just say hello to some lovely, lovely people who are joining us live. So a big hello to Anne, lovely to see you. Hello Brigitte, seeing you for the second time today, so lovely to see you. Good morning Dawn, hopefully you had a lovely birthday which was last week, so lovely to see you here. And Deborah, welcome again, and hopefully you had a lovely birthday. You told us that you did, it was last Sunday, wasn't it? So that's lovely. Judy, good morning to you, and good morning Linda, and good morning Marion, and good morning Marion. And I know that Marion's already posted that she's hit the right button today. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Good morning Sally, lovely to see you, and good morning Trisha. So Robert's at work, Claire's very, very busy nowadays. She's back at work as well, so I'm trying to do all of the Gogglefrogs for you. But we have got some specials this week, haven't we? Because we've changed Wednesdays to an 8 p.m. Gogglefrogs so that Robert can always join us, hopefully on a Wednesday. So that should be wonderful. He may be with us next Saturday as well. But whatever happens, Gogglefrogs will be here. Oh, and Robert's with us on Monday as well. And I will be with you because I've got a hairdresser's appointment in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. And I'm in the south now, so as you can see here, we've got a few different colours going on here. We've got Au Naturel and we've got my colour. So, yeah, so this will be all the same colour. So nothing great, nothing transformational. It'll just be that I look blonde again. So this bit, the brown, will be covered up. So hey-ho, but I will be here on Monday. But I will be leaving at leisurely time, probably about 12 o'clock-ish, maybe before, because I don't know what it's like in car parks even. I mean, is there a queue? What about getting out of them? I don't know. So that's Monday, but I just want to say a big, big, big good luck to every business today that is reopening, whether that's hairdressers, whether that's, I believe, cinemas as well. And oh yes, and pubs and restaurants, I believe, are having a go at it as well today. So let's hope everybody is sensible, but let's get our economy going as well. And the reason why I think it's really important to talk about these things on Gogglefrogs is we actually set up 16 weeks ago because of lockdown, because we thought we're going to miss all of our friends. And thankfully in this time, we've kept in touch with our friends. And we've also made some wonderful new friends as well. So a huge welcome to you. And yes, so what do you think Robert has lined us up for music today? I have no idea. He just said it's short. So without further ado, I'm going to put the music on, and at the same time I'm going to try and find my crochet hook. So let's see what is on the music. How sweet was that? Thank you so much, Robert. I have never heard that before in my life. I really, really, really interested to know if any of you have ever heard of that before. But yeah, 77 for our 77th show. So I love that, and I'm going to have to show that to my husband because he likes all things. What is it? You know, Snartrish from back then. So I think he'd like that little medley as well. It just had to be. Linda says it just had to be 77 Sunset Strip, didn't it? I don't know. I've never heard of it. Marion says, I think Connie Francis was in this. Ah, is it a film? Thank you. Oh, no, it's a program. Trisha says, fab program. So I'm going to have to see if that's on YouTube. Wow. So that's fabulous. Thank you so much. I just thought it was a song. But it makes sense now if it's the intro to a program. And Brigitte says you just have to click your fingers every time. Yeah, that was really good. Marion says, I remember this, love this program because at the time we lived at 77 District Road in Wembley. Oh, how special. Sally says, great choice. Deborah says, yes, thank you, Angela. Had a lovely, if rather strange birthday. Yeah, back to the birthdays. Yeah, so it's strange at the moment, isn't it? But hey ho, we're keeping as safe as we can be. So that's the main thing, isn't it? Anne says, the queue for our local barbers is currently 30 people. It's only a small town. Oh my word, Anne, that is unbelievable. I was listening to LBC this morning. I get up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning because I've got my gluten-free web TV show at 9 and this one, and I always have to bake things and prep everything for going live. So this morning I was up and I made a cherry naan cake. I cooked some gluten-free sausage rolls, cheese rolls, a steak pie. They were ready bought, but I also created something. So I'm always up early. And the reason for saying this is there were people ringing up. Once it got through Andrew Castle at 7 after Steve Allen, he was saying, oh, there's 5 people in the queue. The Barbers isn't open until 8:30, but people were in the queue at about 7 o'clock this morning, 7:15. So I think it is just everybody's going out. I've got mine booked on Monday, but one thing that happened, because I've been flying up and down to Yorkshire so much, I can't always make appointments. So my last appointment was due to be nearly 10 weeks since the last one, and that's a long time for me for colour. So anyway, they had to call me on the Saturday before my appointment was the following week to say, I'm really sorry, we're shutting the salon tomorrow or at the end of today. So that was the longest ever. And I've gone another, 13 weeks. I have no idea how long this is now. It must be months. I worked it out and I'm sure it's over 5 months since I've had my hair done. But hey ho, I will be in there on Monday. It wouldn't have been too bad if I'd have had a more recent appointment, but I was overdue anyway. So hey ho, I will have hair all nice and blonde again on Monday. So that would be nice. So 30 people in the queue. In Le Buzz, as I call it, Leighton Buzzard, we've got, I don't know how many barbers, but I bet, do you know what, I'm going to do a drive-by. I'm going to drive into Leighton Buzzard. I'm going to have a walk and see how long the queues are. But I bet people have been queuing since about 7 a.m. Thankfully, in hairdressing world, I think most people have appointments, don't they? Now, Dawn says that Becky trimmed her hair and she did a really good job. So well done, Becky. And proud of you, Dawn, for letting Becky have a go, which is really good. So well done there. Georgie says morning. Lindy says, good morning, everybody. Dawn says, hello, everyone. So humid this morning, so hot from walking Maisie. Oh, bless gorgeous Maisie. I hope that she's back and not too warm after that humid walk this morning. Judy says, hello all. Deborah says morning all. Tricia says morning. Just dropping in before a Zoom meeting at 10:30. Lovely to see you for however long it is. Linda says good morning, everyone. Marion, good morning. Hit the right button this morning, and I'll come to that back to that in a minute. Anne says good morning. Brigitte reminded me, morning Pete, 77. And Sally said hello, Angela. Now, if you were here on Saturday with us, it was Saturday, no, on Thursday with us, it was so funny. And if you haven't watched it, watch the beginning, because we had Marion was on with me last week, and whenever you come on, you get your reminders for in 15 minutes, and as presenters we get our reminders for 15 minutes. It was so funny when Marion just blurted out, how did that happen? Because she thought she was going on to the view only, and suddenly she was like on screen, so she hit the wrong one. So good that she was dressed and all ready for the day, but it was so funny. So I think I will watch that again and again and again. It was brilliant. So thank you ever so much, Marion, for coming in last week and coming on live with me, and the humour on the one on Thursday was hilarious. So thank you so much. And if you haven't watched it yet, please do. It was just great. And that's what we've always promised you with Gogglefrogs. We will be here and there will be technical glitches. That's what we've always promised. So I hope that you enjoy that. We certainly do, and we chuckle about them. And I think we've had a few outtakes in our little videos, haven't we? So we were talking about this 77 Sunset Strip, which I am going to find on YouTube or wherever today, because I have to watch it now, as so many of you enjoyed it. Georgie said fab music, and Tricia had said fab program. Linda says you're too young, it was back in the 60s. Oh right, okay. Lindy says remember the tune but don't recall the program. Well, I don't remember either. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's probably going to be one of those I get hooked on instantly. Tricia has said, here's the link to the program info on IMDb. And there's a link there for you. So thank you very much, Tricia. Deborah says, much better than her last birthday. My husband and I went on our way to Verona for the actual birthday. Then I tripped on an uneven pavement walking from the airport car park and broke her wrist and injured her face. So no Verona. You poor thing, Deborah. Oh no. I'm so pleased that this year was better for you. No, we don't want you injured at all. Brigitte says, I just love that program in Germany. So cool for the time. The park attendant Cookie had a quirky German voice and was the darling of the German public. Ed Burns was amazed why he was so popular. His voice was nothing like that of Hans Klein, the German speaker. I need to find out more about this. Thank you, Brigitte. Lindy says, my hairdresser closed just before the overdue haircut. No idea when or if they are able to reopen, as they're a very small village salon with only 3 stylists, and the owner was due to start her maternity leave at the beginning of lockdown. Hair is now getting long and fiddly. Marion's extra presentation was great, gave us all such a lovely laugh. It did. We loved Marion's what would you call it? Appearance. It was great. I absolutely loved it. And Deborah says she's fully recovered now. So good. I'm so glad about that. So anyway, I did say that I was going to show, I did something different. Now, you know when you do these squarey things? Yeah, well, we do something like that. And they're all different colours for a reason. But I tend to stick to one colour and then around the edge. And that's what the pattern had suggested. But I thought, I've got all of these light colours kicking around, let me have a go. So I did that. And I have to say, I really, really, really love the colours in this. Now, this is going to be different. So this is only the base of what it is. But it's amazing how putting 3 colours together is so different to just having 2. So, yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. Because I don't normally do light colours. I don't do creams. I don't do like pinks. I don't do like greens. But once I put 3 of them together, I really, really liked it. And I know the finished article is going to be so different. So hopefully I will get that finished in the next couple of weeks, because well, I've got about a quarter of the squares done, but now I'm on a roll. And then I have to put them all together. And then I have to do the embellishment bits. So it's quite a big job, I think. I looked at it and thought, oh, I've got to do that. And then you realise how much work goes into creating a gift for somebody. But thankfully, I've now got these coming out the right size and the right look and feel for what I want. And I do have some extra ones kicking around. And for those, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. But I might make a little bag or something like that out of them. So if anyone knows, oh, actually, could I possibly do a blanket for the RSPCA? I know Rebecca, I don't think Rebecca's on this morning, but I'm just wondering if I could do something like that. Marion said thank you for us, thanking her for being on Thursday. Georgie says pretty colours on the squares. They are. I just asked for a collection. You know how good the Spot Cheap are, and just said, look, that's what I want to do. Can you just send me about 10 different balls of things? So that's really good. And Lindy says those pistachio type colours look really pretty. I think they will work well with your 2-tone darker ones when you get them all arranged. Yeah, I'd looked at, and I can't show you the pattern because then you know who would know what I'm doing. But they did have some much lighter ones in there, and it really set it off. So I'm going to persevere in this one. I'm starting off with pink in the middle, but it's going to go to a darker colour and then black. So I'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying doing this now. And the other thing as well, I've actually lost my zing. I don't know where it is. It could be in that big bag. I don't know. So I've lost my zing crochet hook. Well mislaid it. And I found this old-fashioned, I don't even know which one it is. But you know what? I really like it. So there's no brand on it. It's just shaped like that. But it's really nice. So I'm really liking using this crochet hook as well. So we'll have a look. Marion says guide dogs like blankets for their puppies when they leave mum and go to puppy walkers. Okay, do you know what? I think I'll do that with the squares that I've got kicking around. I will put them into a little blanket. Deborah says, love your crochet squares, Angela. What pattern is that, please? Also love your hairbands. Could see today's as you leant over to get your wool just now. Do you make them yourself? Well, I will share the pattern once I've completed it. So I'll let you know the link, but I can't share it at the moment because if I do, Robert will get to see it. And I don't want him to see it before I've actually created it. But as soon as I've finished it, I will show you the pattern. Thank you. This is a cheapy hairband. Well, I tend to find a hairband and just wear it for years. And I got it in a little shop. You know those little lovely handbag shops? They sometimes have hairbands. I got it in Leeds about 6 months ago, at least. But I just wear them forever. And then I'll lose it and then I'll have to hunt down another one. But I should probably have a go at making them, because I can't actually find hairbands that I like. So you've given me an idea now. I'm going to start making my own. So yeah, because I can do that with glue, can't I? And a little bit of hand stitching. So I will have a go. But thank you for giving me that inspiration, Lindy. Yeah. oh, sorry, Deborah. So that's it. It's got a few pearls on it. But yeah, I love the old headbands. So thank you, Deborah. Lindy says yes, you can join your unused squares and donate them to the RSPCA Cats Home or a homeless charity if it's a bigger size. Thank you very much. Anne says she's doing small cot blankets for our local hospital and neonatal unit. Oh. And Deborah says, of course, don't want Robert to twig. I know. He knows that I'm doing something. He knows that whenever I decide to do something, I try and change it a little bit and it might go a little bit awry. So that's why I've started again and again and again. And I think now it will work. So at least now it's going to work. So that's good. But crochet is not my natural. I knitted from the age of, I don't know, a little bit more than a toddler, I suppose. Another grandma knitted me to do hand stitching. I remember doing an apron. I've got no idea where that apron is now. But I did a little gingham apron with French knots and things like that on, and you know, crosses. So I did that, and it was so amazing. Brigitte, a few weeks ago, posted a picture of her little apron that she did at school, and I know that I did that. So I can actually sew, I can hand sew, but crochet I only learnt to do a few years ago when Robert showed me a picture of Lily Pond. So I then decided I was doing Lily Pond, and it's still half finished. And it hasn't got finished during lockdown because there's so many different balls to transport here, there and everywhere. So we will, who knows, it may get finished at some point. We'll see. But that's what happens when you look at something, you think, oh, I can do that. And I was really surprised. I could do every stitch there. So I just had to go onto YouTube and learn. But it isn't my natural forte. And I think doing a square, it's quite straightforward, isn't it? But doing more than a square is a little bit challenging. So right, we've got 3 there as well. So do let me know what you're on, what you're doing at the moment as well. And we'll have a look when we get into Facebook. So this week has been really quite exciting because I'm now back home. So we've had, there's just always so much going on, but I arrived back home last night and I thought, phew, I can actually sit down. And so I sat down, I had a cup of tea. I had the most amazing dinner last night because I'd gone to the fruit and veg shop and the farm shop, and I had cherries, strawberries, half a melon and some beautiful yogurt with lemon and ginger in it. And I had that for dinner last night. It was out of this world. It was so lovely. And I don't normally do that, but I think I'd just travelled for so far and I really couldn't be bothered to have any stodge. I thought, why don't I just have a big fruit platter? So what should have been a breakfast, I had at dinner time last night. It was just so nice. And I'm even thinking I might have that for lunch because I'm doing something different for dinner. I'm doing some chicken breasts in garlic butter and some potatoes and things like that. But I thought for my lunch, I think I'll just have a bowl of fruit. And I don't think we have just fruit as a meal often enough, do we? Oh, so George has just said, the beauty with Granny Squares is that you can relax, chat, watch TV without worrying about making a mistake. I know, and if you do, it's really easy to sort out, isn't it? Whereas with knitting, it can be a little bit more complex, especially with some wool that is harder, shall we say, to frog than others. Right, okay, so we've got 3 there. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this crochet hook, and I have no idea what type of a hook this is. There's no name on it. It could be one that I've inherited. I could have bought it anywhere. but I think it's a really cheap plasticky one, and it's great, really, really nice. So I'm now back home, which was so nice. Yeah, so I think now Robert's really started something though, hasn't it? How many of us are going to be trying to find this Sunset 77 at some point? Which is funny. And actually, I've got another little funny story for you. It was 9:59, so this show goes live at 10, doesn't it? My husband suddenly appeared. He said, we've got a problem. I went, I've got 1 minute before I go live. You're going to have to wait until 11 o'clock. What is it? So we have got, in the garage, we have got an office in there. And we had noticed wasps going into the garage. And he blocked up the hole, but he can see wasps in the garage and at the window in the office. So I may not be going into the office for a little while for any wool, so we'll need to get somebody to sort them out. So yes, we have got a wasp's nest, but it's that time of year, isn't it? So the little blighters, thankfully all of my wool is wrapped in plastic, and I know that doesn't, that they can get through plastic, but hopefully they'll find something else to burrow into. So we need to get that sorted out. So if you hear screams, it'll be me screaming from here. So we're going to have a look, and we need to try and get rid of these wasps. But hubby thinks that we'll have a go. I think no, we'll just ring his friend who does actually have a company that sorts out wasps' nest, etc., and he can come and he can get rid of them for us. Bumblebees are lovely. If ever you find a bee's nest anywhere, let me know, or just get in touch with the local beekeeper. Quite a few years ago, we had a problem here. We had to move out the house for about 7 months while the insurance company sorted something out. Just went on and on and on. And one of the properties that we ended up renting, because we had to move from one holiday cottage to another to another. So I think we moved 7 times in 7 months. It was just, oh. However, we there, they had a problem with, they had this massive swarm of bees. Didn't harm anybody, but it used to swarm around this this big, what would you call it, like a tree and stuff like that. So I rang a local beekeeper, who, you've never seen anyone arrive so quickly, honestly. And he had this big box, and they all went into this box, and he said, that's brilliant. So he had that swarm of bees, that which he then took them to a new hive and put them there. So if ever you discover bees anywhere, don't worry, just get in touch with a local beekeeper, and they will happily get them from you. And all they do is arrive with a big box. I don't know how they get the bees into the box, but they do. So if you ever seen them swarming, there are thousands and thousands of bees. I mean, they're beautiful to watch. Yeah, so this beekeeper was over the moon that he had a whole new colony. It's called a colony, isn't it? A colony of bees. It took them away. So if ever you need anything like that, let me know, because I do have a number, and there is the National Beekeeping Association. But if it's wasps, I'm not looking after wasps. Sorry. I love all creatures, but wasps, bit of a no-no with me. So we need to get rid of the wasps, the pesky little blighters. So, and Georgie said wasps are nasty. They are. But then again, living in the middle of nowhere, what do we expect? Lindy says, I'm crocheting a corner-to-corner shawl using a non-metal American hook, which I'm finding rather slippery, both in the hand and too easy to slide out the stitches. But it's the only one of the size that I have, part of the set I bought a few years ago. Lindy, let us know what size it is, and I'm sure somebody can send you one in the post. If you would find that easier, we will happily look in our crochet stash and send you whatever type you want. But I know, like, this one doesn't slip. This one's really nice. do you know, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's plastic or what, but some of them are really difficult, aren't they? So if you do want Lindy, let us know. Any of us will be happy to send you the right, a different option for you. Judy says, on the subject of little critters, Selections in Leighton Buzzard has a good selection of moth repellent for those of us who want to guard our wool. They are flitting about. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you. Hadn't even thought of that. So well done. Selections, good place. They have lots of unusual things, don't they, that other shops don't have. Jackie says, hello, just popping in to say a quick hello. I've got a Zoom call with my local knitting group now. Have a lovely weekend and see you on Monday. See you on Monday, Jackie. Lovely to see you flitting in and out. Georgie, bees I love, but wasps I don't like. I hate wasps. I mean, there is a reason for them, I'm sure. I think it's something to do with pollinating stuff. But yeah, they're a bit odd, aren't they? They're not the nicest things that we could have in our gardens. So I don't like wasps, but after this, I thought I was going to be able to sit down and have a chilled day. But no, we've got a wasp's nest that we need to sort out. So just on with this, I don't know what these colours will be like. What I've decided when it comes to crochet, and certainly granny squares, is don't think about don't judge it until you've crocheted the square, because I've been trying to match things side by side, and I'm not always happy with it once it's crocheted. But I think you've just got to give it a go in crochet, haven't you? And try quite random colours together as well, because sometimes random colours really work. And who is it who was doing that special? Was it a shawl or something? And or was it a crochet along? And they just picked a ball of wool out at random and just knitted with that or crocheted with that. Yeah. So I don't know who it was, but there is somebody who absolutely endorses that, about using random colours and not selecting them yourselves, but just at random. It always turns out nice. So I think I'm going to do that after this. So what colour is going to come next? I do not know, but we'll have a go. So I'll just stick my hand in and pull something out after I finish this little row. Brigitte says, there are some lovely fat bees scrabbling around our wild poppies every day. Aren't they just amazing? We used to have some in the in our garage. There were bees, and there were black bees with a red, like dark red burgundy bottom. And every day I used to go into the garage, walk through the garage, and then walk into the office at the back. And the bees would arrive, and I'd have about 20 in front of my face, and the door started buzzing and having a look at me. I'd say morning, and I'd walk straight through them. They'd just buzz around me until I got to the office door, and then they'd just stay in the garage and let me go in. But when my husband went to the door, he got really freaked out about it. So he used to flap around. But bees are just lovely, lovely creatures, aren't they? Dawn has put in there why wasps are important, even though we hate them. And that's on YouTube. So you can go and find that on YouTube. I probably will afterwards. And Lindy says, one of the strangest things I ever did for someone who is definitely phobic about flying things and other creepy crawlies was a wasp nest for a knitted nature trail. My husband found some little bee brooches to put on it, as we couldn't find wasp ones. Not sure if I still have it. Knitted nature trail. That sounds amazing. Wouldn't that be lovely? Because we always do Anglia in bloom, don't we? Wouldn't it be amazing if one year we could do things like that? I know we tend to do the cute animals rather than the critters. You know, we don't do the cockroaches, we don't do the ants, we don't do the wasps' nests or beehives and things. So maybe that might be a nice thing to do one year, or maybe you've done it at some point, the Knitted Nature Trail. But I just think, you know, worms are quite cute. They're amazing creatures. They make our soil so. If you've got loads and loads and loads of worms, then you never have to bother about your soil, do you? Where we live, everyone's got loads of ants. Don't know about anyone else, but we really suffer from ants in this area. And I don't think you can ever get rid of them, can you? Because if every single one of your neighbours has got them, we're just overrun with them, I think, at certain times of the year. So we'll wait for those little critters to come out. Yeah. So Brigitte says, I missed a photo opportunity the other day as I was too worried to get the bee outside again, as it was frantically trying to get out through my window. It had loaded sacks of pollen on each leg. Never seen that before. Oh, that's so good that you made sure that it got outside. And again, oh, bumblebees. If you ever see them just sitting on a window ledge and they're not really moving much, sometimes it's because they're cool, they're not warm enough, and sometimes it's because they're just exhausted. So if you ever find that, again, my husband thinks I'm a little bit mad with this, but I try and put the bee onto a tissue, and then I put the tissue onto my hand, and then I just breathe out gently so the hot air comes out and starts to warm it up. And then if you put a tiny little bit of natural honey, which is expensive honey, in a little bit of water, so if you just mix some hot water, mix it up and let it cool on a little spoon and put it in front of the bumblebee, it's amazing how many of them just have to eat some of that honey to get some energy back, and then eventually it'll fly away. So it's really quite nice, but just put it somewhere warm. But yeah, bumblebees do sometimes get cold and they're exhausted because they just work like crazy, don't they? So don't be afraid to do that. And they never bite you anyway. Marion says, didn't we knit or crochet birds, butterflies, etc. for some sort of trail? I don't know. Seem to remember Judith Morley getting us involved. I don't know, Marion. Please find pictures of it. That sounds exciting. And Lindy said, yes, Marion, it was one of the first canal festivals that I came to. Ah, I don't think I was here at the beginning of the canal festival, so I hadn't moved here. I was still over in Apsley. So, being true to what I just said, oh, look at the time. But we've got a pink middle, and I'm just going to have the only thing I can't do, oh, it's going purple next. All right, that's interesting, isn't it? So we're going to have purple next on that one. So let's have a look at Facebook. Right, I'm going to refresh this first. It's always fun, isn't it, when you are very focused and you have to do that. So when I do put my head up, it's because I'm doing that. Right, come on. Right, Gogglefrogs knitting matter. I'll get into that. I've just refreshed the page as well. Come on. Right, okay. Let me share the page. Yay. Okay, let's have a look and see what's in here. So we've got Deborah. Had a lovely squishy delivery yesterday. Very speedy delivery from Wool Warehouse. More wool for baby knitting. Gorgeous merino wool from Drops. So reasonable. Oh, wow. Let's have a quick look. Don't you just love those bags that everything comes in as well? So I can't wait to see what you actually create, Deborah. That would be lovely. I love those colours. To be honest, I'd quite like something in those colours for me as well. They are gorgeous. Right. Everything is a little bit delayed, taking a little while. Oh, Louise says, finish these socks, yarn and a pattern from a local business. Very pleased with them. They're beautiful. I cannot believe the detail on those. Well done. Aren't they lovely? Love the colour as well. And looking at the heel, I don't know if that happens on all heels, but that looks really exciting as well. So that is a beautiful pattern. Well done, Louise. Eventually, at some point, I will make socks. At some point, I will make socks. Love, love, love this as well. Do you know what? I'm sure that you made this yourself, didn't you? And I just think that M with the rainbow is a lovely, lovely idea. So a little card for a friend's granddaughter. Birthday is done. It's stitched on a slightly pink 16 count Ada. Rod will have to sort out the postage online for me so I can drop it into the letterbox over the weekend. That is just lovely. And as ever, there are the initials and the year. Everything that Brigitte does has her initials on it, which is lovely. But I just love that rainbow M, and how apt that we've all been in shutdown for how long now? 16 weeks and counting. So, Linda has finished this. Oh, look at that colour. Oh, that is gorgeous. I love that. Love the colour. And yes, Brigitte said that was quick. It was very quick, Linda. Well done, you. And even the buttons are lovely. I don't know if everybody's got buttons in their stash. You probably have. Or whether you're trying to source them online. But buttons are so hard to match at times, aren't they? And sometimes you buy them, and then when you've finished the item, you think those buttons don't go. But they match beautifully. So Linda finally finished after about 6 years on the needles. The buttons are from my vintage tin. This shows the true colour rather than the grain shown in the previous post. That is incredible. I love the fact that it's quite a deep V. I really, really like that, Linda. Beautiful colour, beautiful detail. That is amazing. Excuse me, Linda, can you please just post the name and the number of the pattern or the book, because I think a few people might want to do that. That detail is just beautiful. Really love that. Thank you ever so much. How creative is everyone in this group? And I'm doing a square. And Helen says, Whip Wednesday, back of the jumper for friend's daughter. I just love these colours. And what was it? So it's merry-go-round, double knitting, Wonder Safe, or Wonder Soft. I've never heard of that wool, but look at those fabulous colours. That is true rainbow, isn't it? That's bright sherbet K-like rainbow colours. Love that. So thank you for posting, Helen, and we cannot wait to see what it's like when you've finished. So eventually it will close. I think it will. There it will. Sorry, it's rather slow today. Marion, oh, Marion. It's all been frogged. New pattern ordered. I'm so sorry to hear that. This looks amazing. But I know that you were having problems with the pattern, and I think a lot of the time it's the fact that the pattern hasn't been written correctly or there's an error in it. But I tell you what, Marion, I think that would look lovely in some form of wrap. So if you took that middle pattern and adapted that, because you're really good at adapting things anyway, it is a beautiful looking stitch pattern. But I know what it's like when things just do not go right. So I'm so sorry to hear that you had to frog it all. But it's a lovely colour, and I know that you'll recreate it and make it even nicer. in the next pattern. And we've all done that. We've all spent so much time and then we've had to frog it thinking this just isn't working as I want it to. Oh, Robert mentioned that the wine episode, where was that? The wine episode is Wednesday the 15th of July, not the 14th. On the plus side, it does now fit in with our usual Wednesday evening episode. So the wine o'clock one is our normal Wednesday, but that's episode 85, is it? So that's a week on Wednesday. Oh my word. Deborah just had to buy this gorgeous yarn, also bought for 2 of my daughters. Oh dear, but I think I deserve it as I won't be at Yarndale this year and should have been at Shetland Wool Week as well when Yarndale is on. So you won't be at Yarndale this year, should have been at Shetland Wool Week. Love the fact that it's called Hope as well. So let's have a look at this bag as well. So this is, does that say signature? Sorry, I can't see what it says because I don't want to get so close because you'll only see part of my eye. But that's, the bag is beautiful. I love the wool. I love the socks. That is gorgeous. So I'm not surprised that you had to buy that yarn. It is stunning. So I think we all support you in that, don't we? And oh, what's this? Freya's is open and full of wonderful, scrumptious, delightful, colourful goodies displayed in her full glories Technicolor by her special creative eye. Yum, yum, yum. In September, she is moving to the Fabric H quarter space and will have art materials too. Oh, textile heaven. Let's have a quick look. Wow. I've never ever been to her emporium, and I will go at some point. And if you can see, my eye has been caught to these here. I don't know what that is, but that's greens and oranges, and I have no idea what that is, but that looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So thank you ever so much for posting that, and really good to hear that she is back open. So that's Freya's is back open. So sorry, 1 second. So Louise says she was at Yarndale last year and had such a good day. So just bought the special sock yarn they've created for this year. So unfortunately, let's have a quick look because I haven't looked at this yet. Oh, that is the Yarndale Hope sock yarn. So that's what it was. So that's brilliant. So, oops. No, this is the one that you want. Right, so that's brilliant. So a few people thinking about that. Deborah's bought that already. Trisha has put Rescue Me. Maybe that's Trisha's favourite. I'm not too sure. I'll leave you to have a look at that. I'm just conscious I want to show as much work as I can do. Let me have a quick look. Free pattern from Unit. A lightweight shawl knitted together in a lace weight yarn, cast on with 2 strands of yarn held together. Border done in short rows and a tassel. Canadian site. There's a kit for this for $106, which is £64, but I'm sure there are plenty of yarns you could use instead. Shibu yarn is recycled silk, cashmere, merino wool, etc. Ooh, that looks amazing. Let's have a quick look at this shawl, shall we? And what I'm noticing so much this year is silk is in so many wools, and I do have some mittens that haven't finished yet. Now if that was mine, I'd probably try and do it double the size, but But that, I love that little tassel at the end. Absolutely love that. Do you know what? When I was at my parents' the other day, I remember I looked in one of the drawers and there was a scarf that I'd knitted for my mum, and that had tassels on as well. And it went to a point at one end. It was a long scarf, but it was beautiful. So nice. And I remember staying up on Christmas Eve to finish knitting that until about 2 o'clock in the morning, I believe. So thank you for posting that, Dawn. Lovely shawl pattern. Absolutely gorgeous. And I think it's really nice to see different like recycled silk, and I think there's a lot of the recycling starting to happen, which is brilliant. I've just seen suggested needles size 3. Eek! You know me and size 3 needles. Georgie says, oh my god, this is gorgeous, and red is her favorite color. Oh wow, let's have a look at this. Oh, that is such a lovely little design, isn't it? Oh, that is so vintage. So vintage. How gorgeous is that cardigan? Oh, thank you so much. Another D Hardwick. How does this fabulous person create all of these patterns? That is gorgeous. Sally says, remember the magnetic pin wrist straps that were on Sewing Bee? Plush Addict, now only gone and got some in stock. So if you want those beautiful pin wrist straps, they're there on Plush Addict. Rebecca says, here's a cat blanket she was making out of the wrong size donated squares. So thank you ever so much for showing that. And I think I am going to do that with one of mine, with all of those squares that I'm not going to use because I've changed them. So I'll do that and just put them together. Lindy says, to answer Robert's question from last night, my tangerine and cream circular shawl is 40 inches, just over 100 centimeters in diameter. Decided to frog the 15 rows of my C2C crochet. The fabric was coming out too dense, so I'm going to redo it with a larger hook. Yes, I think we discussed that one, didn't we? Marion has said, looked at the Stephen West Shaw, going to get the pattern, and then thought I might treat myself to the kit, but then she saw the price. And Marion, you've got more than you need in your stash, honestly. What else have we got? I think we've shown all of the other ones. I think I'll just go back up to the top and refresh again and make sure there's nothing else gone in there, but I think we've got everything. That's at the top now. Yeah, so I think I've shown everything. Hopefully I have anyway. Okay. So let's go and have a look at some of the comments then. Sorry, I can't see the comments while I'm looking and sharing another screen, so apologies for that. And in response to the first Canal Festival, we yarn bombed the spotted sheep ones, made felted birds. Marion says, Dawn, I remember that, waiting on an order from Wool Warehouse. Brigitte says, Louisa's socks are amazing. Rod wouldn't want the pattern though. Yeah, I know. So Rod has, I think, the largest collection of socks ever, from courtesy of Brigitte. I think it's really nice to see a lovely female style, or a, you know, a lacy style sock. So they're beautiful. And I do remember at some point we saw some socks that had strawberries on them, strawberry pattern socks. So if I ever do socks, those are the ones I want to do. Brigitte says the M is out of an alphabet book I have. Oh, right. Thank you, Brigitte. It was lovely. Louise said, sock knitting becomes addictive. Oh, Wally thinks I'm addictive. And I know my husband thinks I'm definitely addicted to anything wool and yarn. So socks, oh dear. But I think I will. I'm going to give it a go at some point. Yeah. And Deborah says, Brigitte, your card is beautiful. It is. And also, Brigitte said the buttons on Linda's cardi are just brilliant. They are. They match so well when we're struggling to get out, when we haven't had our normal shops open as they normally are. They go so, so well. Judy says, think I was suffering from sensory deprivation. Freya's was stunning. Yeah, it looks it. It looks absolutely stunning. Brigitte says, Deborah, thank you. It had to be a sample as I needed something to be quick. Sorry, it had to be simple as I needed to be quick. Brigitte also says, sorry to go back to the 77 Sunset Strip. Connie Francis was not in it. It was Jacqueline Beer. Okay, I'm sure I will find out who this person is. And when I actually watch it, Marion says, I bought the Stephen West pattern. Hey, it seems to be written very, very clearly. Brilliant. Safia gave me a brilliant idea as to which colours to use. Yes, you were going to be using a plain colour, and then Safi had mentioned about using a variegated changing yarn. So it appears in colour pops. So yeah, it's going to be brilliant. Can't wait to see that. Brigitte says, Marion, if you need any black DK for the shawl, I have some you can have if you want. It's from Aldi. Marion says, thank you. Black would be great. And I think that yarn that Helen is knitting with, the rainbow one. And Brigitte says, I've got another pair of socks on the needles. There's going to be another. Rod's going to be happy again, isn't he? So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed Gogglefrogs again. It's now 58. Can you believe that that's another show gone? So 77. As of tomorrow, it's going to be, no, we have no show tomorrow. As of Monday, it's 78, isn't it? So I'll be here at 10 o'clock with my wonderful co-presenter, Robert. I don't know if Claire will be with us either, but who knows? Anything could happen on Gogglefrogs. And Brigitte says, thank you again for the session. Enjoy your day off. And Lindy says, where did the hour go? I don't know. Where has the hour gone? Great time. See you all on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy lots and lots and lots of wonderful knitting, crochet. Spend lots of time on you. And I'm off to sort out this wasp's nest. All right. See you later. Love you lots. Bye.